What's up guys, I'm Nathan and in this video I'll be showing you guys the updated anime dimensions tier list for the new Bleach update, which includes a Roblox character that is AIZEN Void and ICHIGO FULLBRING, which is a new raid character. So ST is mostly going to be for like the top 10 units and something or the other. And most likely like the top 5 assists or just something that's pretty useful. AT is going to be for the characters that are good but just not good enough to be like top 10 in anything. B tier is going to be the characters that are, well, good for beginners. C tier is going to be for characters that are average for beginners, and D tier is going to be for characters that are bad even for beginners. Starting off with AIZEN Void, he's going to be mid to low S tier. Now, he's not amazing in raids, but in dimensions he's not bad. Now you might actually think that he's amazing, because if you actually look when you click on his character, you can see a lot of abilities. So the thing is, his first move, it's got good AoE, but here's the thing. Now his third move allows you to spam his first move, and his ultimate gives you 100% crit chance on all of his moves. Now this sounds like it could be overpowered. Well, it is pretty good. However, let me just tell you, the first move, which can be spammed, is honestly kind of weak compared to most first moves damage wise. It's not a bad like move itself, but most characters definitely have a lot more damage on their first ability, so it's not insane. It's kind of like a slightly worse version of Shadow Monarch. Well, actually kind of significantly worse than Shadow Monarch. So I would not really recommend for you guys to buy this character with Robux. Next up we have ICHIGO FULLBRING, who is surprisingly better than AIZEN, both in raids. Well, raids he's not amazing, but mainly he's good in dimensions. Now, his first move, it's kind of similar to AIZEN's first move, if I may say, but a lot more damage. The second move is actually like a kind of two-step, which is like a kind of double dash, if you could call it. I mean, it's definitely lesser than a dash, but if you jump, you can definitely get some decent distance. And the third move, it gives you extended M1s, which actually, it kind of reminds me of Saber Alter's like burst slash, so it's pretty good. And the ultimate just spams those slashes, and it's got pretty good damage and a huge amount of combo. Plus you can move around and aim it, which is amazing in dimensions. Next up we have Broly, who's going to be a little bit lower on S tier. This is because he does have big AoE, good damage for an assist. He's a terrible main, so I don't recommend for you guys to use him as for that purpose. Next up we have Gilgamesh, once again an assist. He's got good AoE, pretty decent damage for an assist. Then we have Kokushibo, who's going to be, I would say, I might actually put him above ICHIGO FULLBRING, because the thing is, Kokushibo is definitely, actually never mind, he's not better than ICHIGO FULLBRING, but he is better than AIZEN. All of these characters aren't amazing in raids, but their main purpose would be dimensions. And Kokushibo is slightly better than AIZEN, and ICHIGO FULLBRINGER is slightly better than Kokushibo, just because his moveset's kind of similar, but it's also more damage. Then we have Ice Queen Azdeath, who is, well, she's not amazing at anything, but she's definitely not a bad character. She has a pretty decent moveset with good AoE. Then we have Karakuri, who is definitely not that good. His ultimate can allow you to spam all of his moves, however it has a very long cooldown, and all of his moves have relatively low damage. Ichigo Final is definitely still one of the best characters in the game. If you have like lower HP, you can do more damage. It's just, yeah, he's just really good, both in raids and in dimensions. Particularly in dimensions, though he still falls short of being as good as Shadow Monarch. However, it's still a pretty close contest, and honestly Ichigo is a bit easier to use. Then we have Shanks. Shanks is probably going to be, honestly, it's hard to put him either above or below ICHIGO FULLBRING, because the thing is, Shanks is significantly better in raids, but also kind of significantly worse in dimensions. So I'm not sure. Actually, I might put ICHIGO FULLBRING above Shanks for now, but like it's pretty close, since they're both used for two completely different purposes. Then we have Levi, who's definitely not bad. He's got good mobility, but his damage is definitely outdated, and for 3,000 raid tokens, it's not really recommended to get him. You might as well just go for the limited raid characters. Then we have Naruto 6 Parts, who's going to be right about here, because Naruto 6 Parts is definitely a solid assist. And that's basically the only thing that he's used for. He does have a fast cooldown of 75 seconds, so yeah. Then we have Priestess Shrine, who's going to be right about there. She's like kind of a DPS support, if I may say. So definitely not a bad unit. Then we have Ryuko, who's going to be right about here. She's one of the highest DPS assists, with a 60-second cooldown on the assist, which is really nice. Then we have Alice, who is a good support DPS, but still the DPS is definitely kind of low. As an assist, not terrible, but there's definitely a lot of better options for this. Then we have Witch Megumin, who's kind of going to be low on S tier, just for the fact that she's kind of good on time challenge. Then we have Rengoku, who's going to be a bit higher up on A tier because he's actually a really good assist. We have Saber, who's going to be C tier. She's not that great. Bakugo has better mobility, so he'll be above. Yuchio is kind of good for beginners because he has good area on his last two moves. He's got a good dash skill, and he can kind of lifesteal on his ultimate. Then we have Gojo, and Gojo, he needs requirements to actually be really good. So I'll just put him like mid to high A tier. You need really high crit chance and crit damage for him to really be good, because all of his moves are really fast and they don't have a high combo, meaning if you don't crit, you actually have barely any DPS. So it's not really recommended for beginners to use this character. Christmas Altar, you need Kurumi to make her really good, and this is because Christmas Altar has one of the best, if not the best, pet energy recharge, and Kurumi removes the cooldowns of your moves, and this is really good since all of Christmas Altar's moves basically, first of all, they don't have a very high cooldown, they're really fast to use, and they're just going to instantly recharge Kurumi, which is going to make you able to use her moves once again, which is pretty good. You can just really, she's really a spammable character. Next up we have Levi, who's with his Awakening, which is definitely not bad. I'm going to put him like a little bit lower on S tier. He's got a solid DPS, decent mobility, not anything amazing, so I don't really recommend for you guys to awaken him, but he's usable. Then we have Kaneki, who's kind of like a Walmart version of our Karakuri. His ultimate also allows you to spam his moves, but I would not really recommend him for a gem character since all of his moves have really low damage. Then we have Kirito. Kirito is definitely a really good assist. I'm going to go and put him right about there because Kirito's assist is definitely helpful in Dimensions since it gives you extra boss damage. Then we have Rengoku's Awakening, which is also pretty good, but of course you can't use his Awakening move with his assist. It's still not that bad, but yeah, not amazing either. He's gonna be like towards the top of A tier though. Then we have Chainsaw Man. Now Chainsaw Man's not particularly good at anything. In raids, he's pretty bad. He's actually worse than a good chunk of your gem characters. And in Dimensions, well, he can technically spam dash, but his damage is still very low, which is why Denji is definitely not a very good character. So I'll just go and put him right about here. Then we have Megumin. Megumin is going to be like right about here. She has decent damage, if you could call that a gem character's damage decent, but her moveset is really bad. Then we have Naruto Beast Awakening, who is definitely above ICHIGO FULLBRING. He's got good damage, he's good in raids and in Dimensions, but Christmas Altar is definitely a bit better, with Kurumi at least. Then we have Cursed Sage or Obito, and he's going to be right about here because he's actually pretty decent on things like Time Challenge, because of the way that because of his moveset, which you can like aim on his third move if I'm not mistaken. Then we have Naofumi, who is a support but not a very good support. Well, he does give you shield. Then you have Genos, who's going to be towards the top of C tier. He used to be really good, but now he's just a bit outdated. Then we have Blood Fiend, who's going to be actually above Denji. She's actually pretty decent. Like, she's got a good moveset for Dimensions, kind of similar to ICHIGO FULLBRING, but obviously significantly lesser damage. Then we have Control. She's going to be right about here. Now the thing is, Control or Makima is not amazing in Dimensions. She's only she's a bit to the lower side. She's definitely one of the best, but she is the best character in raids, so that's definitely a plus point. So I'll go ahead and put her like right about here. Then we have Luffy Gear 5. Luffy Gear 5 is, well, he's kind of average. There's nothing really special about him. Even with his awakening, he's not really amazing. So I don't really recommend for you guys to get this character. I'll go ahead and put him right about here. Then we have Todoroki. He's not bad, but not amazing either. So I don't really recommend for you guys to get this character as a gem character. Then we have Shadow, Demon Lord Rimuru, who's going to be probably right about here. Because Rimuru already has really slow cooldowns and Shadow just makes it worse. Plus he's extremely expensive. Then we have Diablo, who is going to be right about here, because Diablo actually is really good for a gem character. He does quite a lot of damage, especially in raids. So I'll actually go ahead and put him right about here. Then we have Vampire Toga, who's going to be about here. We have Katakuri Summer, who's going to be a little bit lower on A tier. He was like a pay-to-win character from before. He's a bit above the regular Katakuri, so I'll put him right about here. Then we have Winter Spirit Leah or Amelia. Then we have Zenitsu. Zenitsu has good mobility but a pretty bad moveset overall. Emiya is not bad for a cheap character, but there's definitely some better options. Then we have Rimuru. Rimuru is definitely not bad. He's pretty usable as an assist. One of his moves does keep you locked in place while not giving you iframes, so that's not amazing. So I'll just put him like towards the top of C tier, maybe right below Genos. Asuna is kind of like the peak really budget character you can get if you're really impatient. Then we have Vampire Luffy. Vampire Luffy is not amazing. I'll just go ahead and put him right there. Then we have Zoro. Zoro is also a decent cheap character, but not the best. Then we have All Might, who will be right there. We have Rukia. Now, Rukia is probably gonna be like, she's not bad for a really cheap character, but yeah, I'll have to put her in D tier. Shinra is gonna be probably like higher up on D tier. The thing is, he has a solid moveset. Actually, I might put him low C tier because Shinra has a really solid moveset. It's just that his ultimate is kind of bad. Then we have Goku. Goku is going to be right below Shanks. He can spam dash and he can make any other character spam dash with his assist. But this also, it's not bad, but like his damage is a little bit on the lower side. What does that sound? Okay. Goku would be right about there. Actually, he's kind of worse than Aizen in dimensions, but he's better than Aizen in raids. So I'm not really sure where to put him with respect to Aizen, but I might actually just keep him lower. Then we have Sukuna. Actually, I'll just keep him above because Aizen's a pay-to-win character, to be fair. This should be around fair. Then we have Sukuna, who is not bad for a cheap character, but there's definitely a better option. That's Asuna, if you really don't want to wait. Then we have Luffy with his awakening. He's going to be right about there. Like, it's not bad, but it's not amazing either. Then we have Gray. Gray is pretty bad, honestly. Then we have Shadow Eren, who's going to be probably right about here. He's only useful in time challenge, like the regular version, and Shadow Eren is slower, which basically kind of diminishes his usefulness. So it's not really worth to get that Shadow. Then we have Sasuke, who's going to be like a bit higher to C tier since he does have some mobility. Akaza is definitely decent because all of his moves get recharged by his ultimate. Asta is not terrible. Itadori is also decent, like for a starter character. Then we have Zoro. Now Zoro is he was useful as a raid boost, but well, now that raid boost isn't there, like he's not particularly amazing. So I'll just go ahead and put him probably right about here. Then we have Tanjiro. Tanjiro is definitely not great, but you do get him for free. Natsu is gonna be right there. I'm not really putting these characters in order. Sakura is gonna be like towards the top of C tier because, well, She actually could be, well, decent if you have good stats, and she does have heals, so at least you're not gonna die as a beginner. So yeah, then we have Killua, who's gonna be like right there. Then we have Goku, who is, yeah, he's pretty bad. Ichigo is definitely better than Goku. Luffy is probably worse than Goku. Naruto would be most around in the middle, and Deku is right there. Kirito without his awakening is definitely not bad. It has a pretty solid moveset. I actually prefer Kirito to Levi without awakening. Then we have Lancer. Lancer is a gem character with very good mobility, but pretty bad AoE and very hard to use, so I don't really recommend using him. Yorichi has a pretty solid moveset and is pretty decent for everything, so I'll go ahead and put Yorichi like right above Luffy. Like he's not bad. Maybe like Luffy with awakening is probably like better, but like it's not really worth to get Luffy's awakening, since awakening gems aren't really easy to come by. I recommend that you save it for the actually really good ones. Then we have Nezuko. Now Nezuko is really good in things like boss rush and pretty solid in dimensions as well. I mean, she's pretty usable in dimensions and raids. She's not amazing in either of them, but mainly her use is going to be as an assist, and she's a really, really good assist. So I'll go ahead and put Nezuko right about here. Then we have Demon Lord Rimuru. This is the regular version of himself. That's going to be probably even below Chainsaw, because, I mean, yeah, he does lifesteal, but it's still not that good. Then we have Priestess, who is going to be another support. We have Milim, who is really good on raids, but I'll go ahead and put Milim below Control and below Naruto Beast, but she is still one of the best characters in raids. So I'll actually put her above Ichigo Fullbring, or, you know, maybe below Ichigo Fullbring, because Ichigo Fullbring is pretty close. Yeah, you know what, I'll just put Milim above. Then we have Saber, who is actually pretty good for beginners, pretty good moveset and pretty nice burst damage that you can get from her. Then you have this, Eren is going to be right about here, because Eren is really good in time challenge, but not amazing for anything else. Kind of outdated because he was nerfed pretty badly. Then we have Infinity Gojo. Now Infinity Gojo is not bad, mainly useful as an assist, so not really sure where I would put him. Infinity Gojo, I do recall, is worse than regular Gojo if you have good, if you have like really good stats. But if you don't have good stats, I would say he's more or less equal to regular Gojo. I might just put him right about here. He's not bad, but he's not amazing either. Then I'll actually go and check where Infinity Gojo would be. Infinity Gojo is actually better than Goku MUI in raids, but like it's not a huge difference. It's pretty close actually. Yeah, he's not particularly useful in anything, but he's definitely better than Denji. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I think that placement is about fair for him. Then we have Shadow as Death, who's probably gonna be like below Denji for sure. Then we have Shadow Yorichi, who's probably gonna be like right there. It's not terrible, but it's not amazing. Then we have Shadow Monarch. I mean, we don't really need to explain that. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? Then we have Misaka, who's definitely a good gem character. She definitely can be pretty good on raids, even compared to a lot of your raid characters. Then we have Esper, who is definitely going to be above Ichigo Fullbring, just because he's useful as an assist, as a raid main, and as a dimension main. Ichigo Fullbring is better in dimensions, but like Esper is just more well-rounded. Then we have Best Boy or Astolfo Summer. Astolfo Summer is probably going to be right about here. Then we have Saber's Awakening, which will be low on B tier. Not really worth getting, to be fair. Priestess's Awakening is going to be right there. Once again, support unit. Then we have, I might put these below. Then we have Infinity Gojo, his Shadow version, which is definitely not good because Infinity Gojo already has a problem of having fairly slow first and second moves. Well, the second move isn't terribly slow, but the first one definitely is. An 8-second cooldown isn't amazing. So we'll go and put him right about here. Then we have Tengen. Tengen is definitely good as an assist because of the 60% additional critical damage. And yeah, that's pretty good actually. And as a main, well, he's decent on dimensions, but not particularly great on anything else. I'll go and put him probably like closer to Obito. Not really. Yeah, Tengen should definitely be just below Obito. That's pretty fair for him. Shadow Esper, definitely still gonna stay on S tier. Definitely lower on S tier. And I wouldn't really recommend getting this because Shadow Naruto Beast is also there. I think I forgot to add him to the tier list. But he's definitely gonna be better to get than Shadow Esper. Not really sure if you can awaken that. I actually didn't check that yet. So let me know in the comments if you figure that out. Then the next character we have, and the last character, is going to be the awakened version of Rimuru, and that's going to be most likely like low-ish A tier. It's definitely not a bad awakening move. It's pretty good damage-wise, but it's just that his other moves aren't enough to make up for it. So that's pretty much it for this tier list. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. If there's anything you disagree with, let me know in the comments, and I'll make changes if necessary, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you.